On this episode of the Film Optix Podcast, it looks like Mulan will finally be available for streaming on Disney+, but at what cost? It also looks like there's a lot of rumblings going on with Spider-Man in the new Marvel's Avengers game. So let's jump in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we bring you the headline hot takes of entertainment news, each and every week. I'm your host, Christian, and today, of course, we are always going to be talking about the world of film, TV, and everything pop culture related here on the podcast. And I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and my co-host, Devin. How are you doing today, man?
Sorry, I'm actually exclusive to the PlayStation as of now. So,
if
you have an Xbox, you cannot listen to this part. I'm sorry.
Or PC. You know what? We're exclusive to Apple Podcasts now. If you have any other platform, sorry, you can't. Why? I'm not going to tell you the details because whatever.
Because we got paid a lot of money.
We got paid a lot of money. We're officially Apple shills now. We got our MacBooks, our iMacs, our Apple TVs. We got our AirPods in as we speak. So, yeah. Yeah, so, man, it's been a rough week. How's your week been?
Slow. So slow.
Yeah, today got the better part of me. Actually, yesterday did. Today was a lot better for me working from home. But I worked in the office yesterday, so.
Dog days of summer.
It is the dog days of summer. It doesn't even. We're in August, Devin. We're in August right now.
I don't know how we made it this far.
Labor Day weekend is literally like less than a month away.
It's crazy.
Like, how did we make it? Tell me, Devin, how?
If Mulan can make it, anyone can.
Yeah. Hey, man. We got that down packed. But before we begin today's topics, wow, see, I'm all over the place today. Before we begin today's topics, you can listen to this podcast only on Apple Podcasts, because, we don't care about our Stitcher or Spotify listeners out there. No, I'm kidding. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, Pandora, iHeart Radio, pretty much every single podcast platform you can think of around the globe. So, yeah, go ahead and look us up. But we have a lot of news to cover today, Devin. More than I thought, because the news was looking a little thin about early yesterday. And then a bunch more stuff came out. So let's just get into the comic book news here. Do you want to take this first news piece?
Umbrella Academy fans, which we are certainly in that group, would like to see Aidan Gallagher, a.k.a. number 5, or The Boy, cast as DC's next Robin. It's interesting.
Very interesting.
He stood out to me from the very first episode as like the most star power, like potential, because he just like came off the screen and stole every scene he was in and did in season 2 as well.
I would have to agree with you there. Definitely. And of course, with, wow, my voice. With Umbrella Academy, the biggest draw from season 1, I would say, was Ellen Page, obviously. But she still does a great job, as she always does, in season 2. But I do have to agree, 5, or Aidan Gallagher, playing the role as 5, he has definitely separated himself from the cast. Not because he's younger than everyone else, but he just gives off a good performance. And I think that's definitely should be recognized. It'd be very interesting to see him play as, the next Robin, whoever that may be, whether it be Jason Todd or Damian Wayne himself. Actually, I could see Damian Wayne because Damian's a little shit. Excuse my language, but he just is. He's not very pleasant. A lot of people don't like Aidan Gallagher because of his off-putting.
He's got the sass.
Yeah, he's got the sass. Damian's got the sass, so I said that's a perfect match.
It just comes down to which Batman he'll be Robining for.
Ooh, maybe Robert Battenbat. What do you think about that one?
Michael Keaton somehow.
No.
He wants to bring in a young boy at his late old age.
Can you imagine Michael Keegan flipping about on stage on these sets? He's like, I prefer to do my own stunts. Okay, Michael.
Kind of did on Birdman and Spider-Man, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, great actor, of course. We all know this. It's been a while since I've seen his adaptations of Batman. It's actually been a long time. So maybe they're on HBO Max if they haven't been taken off already. So, but our next news story here pretty much ties into our first piece. It looks like Netflix has not committed to season 3 of Umbrella Academy just yet. Very
so stingy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stingy companies out there. Oh, we're on a roll today, Devin. I love it. But yes, Netflix is not committed to season 3 of the Umbrella Academy. This news comes from some comments from Steve Blackman at CTAM. Pretty much, season 2 was a wild success. I'm kind of glad they haven't, said, oh yeah, season 3 is well on its way, because as we know with The Boys, they've already confirmed season 3 before season 2 is even out. Same thing with Mandalorian. Season 2 was, finish up wrapping like, oh, season 3. I'm pretty sure it was Mandalorian. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, I mean, it shows that they're not being super reactionary about this. So, I mean, we'll just have to see what lies in store for us.
There's no way there won't be a season 3. There's so many fans.
It was so many fans. Season 2 was just, man. Like, well, as we said, in our review, everyone go check it out if you're after you're done listening to this one, of course. And yeah, season 1 good, season 2 fantastic. So, you want to take this next bit of news piece here? It's not too much.
Our boy Jimmy Gunn.
Jimmy Gunn.
I like
Jimmy G.
Jimmy Gunn. That sounds cool.
I like Jimmy Gunn too.
Jimmy Gunn.
Jimmy Gunn.
Save the day.
Jimmy G.
Oh, Jimmy G's a quarterback.
True.
But James Gunn's Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, that's important. That's what differentiates it. The
Very important.
100% zero interference, no holds barred me. I always wondered what no holds barred means. Everyone just kind of says it.
It's kind of like, you're not holding back anything.
I mean, I know what it means, but like when you take it literally,
yeah.
What is no holds barred?
Maybe it just has James Gunn's name written all over it. Like literally, when we go see this movie, I expect to see James Gunn watermarks on the screen.
Possibly.
Everywhere. Like, hey, this is directed by James Gunn.
Yeah, I do think this is really good news because obviously we saw what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. He made that one of the best movies in the MCU. It's definitely close to the top for me.
Top 5?
Definitely top 5. Probably top 3.
Ooh,
maybe top 1.
Oh, I know that's your favorite movie, so yeah, you would say that. Aside from the Avengers movies, obviously.
But yeah, if he's got full control here, should be interesting. He knows what he's doing, and when he's got these weird, crazy ensemble films of characters that nobody knows. Yeah,
and it was his birthday yesterday, or was that today? Yesterday. So happy belated birthday, Mr.
Yeah, he got a few wishes from the cast. He got Margot in Harley voice, which was interesting.
That was awesome. She started off right off the bat. Of course, it would be her, for sure. So, as we creep closer towards DC fandom, they released a new teaser trailer. For those of you who don't know, DC fandom is essentially, since DC pulled out of Comic-Con, so did Marvel, DC decided to host their own digital event for DC fans around the world. So, I mean, I'm excited. I feel like there's going to be some. I feel like DC needs to stop. DC doesn't need to equal disconnected anymore. Like we don't need any of that. We need We need prime DC content because we've gotten a few here and there. Shazam was pretty good. Birds of Prey was pretty good. Aquaman, but no, sorry. That's just we all know how we felt. Excuse me about that one. But you know they're starting to turn things around, especially with their animated department as well. But I mean, animated department, the DCAU hasn't really needed that much help. Generally, their movies are pretty good. But you excited for DC fandom?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like jumping for joy.
Are you ready to hear Zack Snyder rage and be the edgelord that he is?
Yeah, but give me Zack Snyder's voice in my ears. I need it. No, I mean, I wish there was a Marvel one. That would be nice. I don't know.
I wish that as well. I really wish they would have done something.
I really think everything is just up in the air for them because they just don't know what the releases are going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're going to be getting some more Disney-related news here in a bit. But we have a new director. Devin, you want to take this next one?
Nia DaCosta has been tapped to direct Captain Marvel 2. Definitely a lot of excitement and buzz around this one when it came out yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Nia DaCosta is the director of the upcoming Candyman movie, and she also has a couple other movies under her belt that I have not seen, but I've heard good things about. So it seems like a good pick. I saw mostly positive reactions. Of course, there were some negative reactions from the...
some ne'er-do-wells out there.
Yeah.
Some bro-force, misogynistic people out there.
Yeah.
You know, God forbid a woman can't direct a movie about another woman, but...
And she is the first African-American female director in the MCU.
Yeah. That's actually really... This came out of like left field for me. I didn't know who was going to direct. It wasn't really on my mind. Because, you know, everyone was like, oh, you know, Ryan Coogler, we had that for Black Panther. But this is good. And I think this is what Anthony Mackie was talking about a few weeks ago when it comes to, you know, diversifying the directors. Because, I mean, of course, a black director is going to want to direct a movie, you know, based on their own culture or, you know, their ancestors. So, I mean, obviously it's like a no-brainer. But this is big for Marvel, for Disney overall. So I'm very excited, and I'm sure she'll do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I've not seen any of her movies. I've heard good things about Little Woods, and obviously every Candyman trailer that comes out just looks more and more amazing. So it's in good hands.
Yep. I totally agree. So, man, we got some more uppity news here between Black Widow. This is a little tidbit of news here. It kind of ties in to our next piece of news when we get into the new normal. So it looks like the direct.com, they made like a little list, 5 reasons why Disney Plus's chances to release Black Widow are, you know, higher than ever. And as I was scrolling through, because, you know, since we know that Mulan is going to be available on Disney Plus for a additional price.
Quite the additional price.
Yeah. We'll get into that here in a second. So their first, you know, point is Mulan will be available on Disney Plus, of course. And we all know, we'll get into that here in a little bit. Their second point is it's the longest gap in MCU films in over a decade. So it looks like Universal Pictures Incredible. Yeah, it has been a while. Universal Pictures Incredible Hulk debuted June 13th, 2008. Wow, ages ago. We wouldn't see another MCU installment for another 693 days when Paramount dropped Iron Man 2 on May 7th, 2010. So, and of course, another one of the reasoning is Disney is looking for new content. You know, they have a lot of their legacy titles on there. It's not a bad streaming service. It's obviously definitely geared more towards a younger audience because that's where all their PG and PG-13 movies go on. So there's always that. And, you know, the delay releases in the temporary situation, of course, you know, that's always a thing. But I wanted to get your thoughts on some of these points. Like, do you agree? Would you pay to see Black Widow on Disney Plus?
I'd be much more willing to pay for that than Mulan. That's a pretty easy choice for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I think the general movie-going audience would also agree. Unless you have kids. Because then you can just buy Mulan and have it forever.
I mean, like when it comes to the $30 deal, and I guess we'll just get into our next news story here. That's it for comic book news. And since we're going to be talking about Mulan streaming on Disney Plus on September 4th for an additional price of $30. So if you have Disney Plus, obviously you'll have access to watch Mulan, but you also have to pay another $30 to access the movie. But if you are a continuous subscriber through Disney Plus, you get to watch that movie. You essentially, quote unquote, own that movie as long as you are subscribed to the service. So I wanted to get more of your thoughts really quick before I go into mine.
Well, the headlines are pretty rough when you first see them. $30. Yeah. Not exactly the price point you're looking for. I guess being able to keep it, quote unquote, forever. Obviously, things can change. You can not be subscribed, or they could take it off any point they want if they really wanted to. But 30 for us, it won't be too bad. Hopefully, we can split it up between a few of us. Get that price down
between the siblings. Yeah. It's like, how do you want to watch Mulan this weekend? Just a thought.
I am curious as to how much they will make in comparison to what they were expecting to make in theaters, because obviously $30 is much more than a regular movie ticket price.
Right. Because I would say the general pricing across America, from what I've encountered, I would say a general
10
movie
to 15.
Yeah, $10 to $15, depending on where you live. I feel like it is more on the expensive side, just because movie theaters, half of their money comes from concession stands and whatnot. But I've seen the spikes, here or there. But I believe I did tweet this morning. It was like I had some time to mull it over, and I was like, man, $30. At first, I was like, oh wow, that seems a lot. Like that was my initial reaction. But Culture Crave did like a little poll, and they said 92% of voters said there's no chance they would pay $30 to stream Mulan on Disney Plus. But what they don't understand is that this, obviously, a lot of money's been pumped into this movie. They're not going to just, everyone can just watch it on Disney Plus, blah,
also,
blah, blah, blah.
People who follow Culture Crave aren't children who are the intended audience of the movie.
Yeah, but there was a guy who
it's going to make a killing for families. Any family who has little kids is probably going to,
or just loves Mulan. If there's two of you, yes, I have a roommate, but I essentially live alone because I barely see him. You live alone, of course, but I would agree. It's like, I was thinking about it, and it's like we said, it is a price of average of 2 tickets. And, of course, you will have the access to the movie after you buy it if you're an active subscriber. But it's like people act like you guys don't share accounts with other people on your Disney Plus. Like, I'm pretty sure that you do. Get together, hustle it out, split the cost.
Yeah, that's our plan. Get it down to $7.50 if you have 4 people.
Yeah, or if it's just 2 of you, $15. Boom, price of a movie ticket. It's like, I know half of you guys be sharing each other's Netflix and Hulu passwords. I'm pretty sure you can do this.
It's a millennial special.
It is a millennial special. And it's Labor Day weekend. People are going to be with families. Come on. Really? Like, let's get with the program here, people. It's very, it's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion. I'm not sure. I'm sure Devin agrees with me, but, the man can speak for himself.
I'm just glad Hamilton was free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I feel like Hamilton had no choice but to be free because, if you're going on Broadway, which obviously is closed right now, you're paying upwards of like $800 to $1,000 for a ticket. And it's it
is interesting to see what kind of precedence this sets for Disney Plus as far as, because this is the first paid content they have. So I wonder if they want to add more paid content, or is this kind of just a one-off? We'll just test this out and see how it goes.
People are speculating that, Disney says that Mulan is a one-off, not a new business model, and they'll see how Mulan goes and go from there. But of course, this leads into Black Widow and the New Mutants, which I don't believe is coming out in theaters. As much as I want to see the movie, unless I'm in a theater like by myself, I'm not going to go see that movie. Not out in the open. I tested for COVID twice. I'm COVID free. I've been.
But our president says we're the best in the world.
I seriously thought
cases, right, and death, and testing.
I seriously thought that whole video was a skit at first. Like, it just seemed like one, and I was like, I know Trump is Trump. We're just gonna keep it at that. But I didn't know how Trump he could be when talking. It was. It looked like a fifth grader trying to give a PowerPoint presentation.
He had those graphs and charts so big and colorful just so you could
the numbers are right here, see?
It.
That literally blew my mind.
That other reporter's face becoming a meme is so perfect. He's just like, what are you saying?
He looks so confused. I'll just send you a Instagram post one of my friends made. He met Weird Al Yankovic like back when he was in high school, and he did a little like slideshow thing where like Trump's handing him the paper, the guy's looking at the paper, and it's a picture of my friend with Weird Al Yankovic. And the guy's looking back at him with that confused look, that confused meme, that frame. It's like, oh yeah, that's the frame. That's the meme frame that's going on. But honestly, I feel like, given our podcast, I feel like we would have to review Mulan anyway, because it's been so long, and it doesn't really look like there's not much else going out. Everything else is coming out on POV, premium video demand, for those of you who don't know. But we'll just have to, I guess Disney's going to figure out something. It might be the new business model, because there's no way they're just going to let you, do a video on demand. But it's like, there's no difference. If anything, this is better if you think about it. Because let's say Black Widow, let's say, they decide not to put Black Widow or Mulan on Disney Plus, and they just released it as a, video on demand. You go to, iTunes, Amazon Prime, Vudu, wherever you go to rent a movie. It's still the same thing. You're just not purchasing it within that same app, but they're giving you the option to keep that screener access so long as you're subscribed to the channel. That's the only difference. But, Disney knows how to make money. So, anything else you wanted to touch on before we head on to our next bit of news? I'll let you take this one.
I'm just kind of sad there won't be any Mushu in the new one.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
Kind of random, but I was just thinking about Mulan.
Oh no, it's totally fine, man. I think about Mulan daily. So, it was one of the movies I was looking forward to. Our video, everyone's review would have been up already.
Yeah.
In March, we were 1 week away from A Quiet Place Part 2, Devin. 1 week. Oh well. You want to take this next story?
Amy Adams and Adam McKay have reunited for a limited series about Walmart called Kings of America over at Netflix.
A Walmart limited series.
Adam McKay does not miss, so I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'll watch anything with Amy Adams in it. She's one of my favorite actresses working today. So
I'll watch anything Adam McKay.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, looks like the pair who also worked together. The comedy Talladega Nights back in 20.
Yeah, I always forget she was in that.
2006.
That was like one of her first movies.
Yeah. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. That's what that's what it was. Yeah, it's been ages. My God, 2006. I was in high school. I think I just started. It was either my second year or I just started high school like that year. It's crazy stuff, man. All right.
Speaking of Amy Adams.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Spill it.
Netflix is negotiating to try to get another Amy Adams project in their streaming service, The Woman in the Window.
Yeah. This one looks good. I was excited for it, too. I wonder what happened. Well, it looks like, it was last owned by Fox. Fox 2000, Elizabeth Gulber project will be let go by Disney. Oh, I see.
So when Disney bought Fox, they weren't feeling this one, it looks like.
They were feeling Jojo Rabbit when they weren't feeling this one.
They made at least one good choice in that.
Yeah. But I really hope this comes somewhere. Wherever it be, it needs to come out because I do want to watch this. It's just, it looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one for, I want to say it's scary. This is more of like a thriller.
I could have seen this being a Hulu release because this is quite simply an adult-themed thriller isn't a good fit for family-friendly Disney Plus. Well, just throw it on Hulu. Seems like
Netflix already has enough going on. Yeah. Yeah, throw it on Hulu.
But if Netflix wants to buy it, hey.
We already got Netflix.
They'll just keep winning.
Yeah. HBO is not winning right now. So, actually,
Apple got a bit of a win here.
Yeah, speaking of streaming services, we have a few stories in here. Looks like Leonardo DiCaprio's production company signs for the first look film and TV deal with Apple.
Multi-year.
It also looks prior to this agreement, they'll expand their business dealings to the road to a relationship that's already been paved with two upcoming projects with Appian Way, including Martin Scorsese's directed Killers of the Flower Moon, in addition to the thriller series Shining Girls. So, I'm excited. I love Leo. Leo is, by definition, my favorite actor.
Just kind of sucks that these projects won't be within the 1 year window of my Apple TV Plus.
Oh my gosh, that's right. You know what?
I think mine ends in November. I have to cancel it before then. Hopefully, I remember.
I think mine ends around sometime November. I would let it expire until Dickinson season 2 comes out. Resubscribe. Then probably. I really want to check out Mythic Quest though. I hear that movie's actually quite good.
Faux show. And then, of course, for the DiCaprio films as well. So yeah, I feel like some of these streaming services are definitely on again, off again. But speaking of streaming services, yet again, this is keep the ball rolling here. Looks like Harry Potter films, not only Harry Potter films, but it looks like there's a few Batman movies are going to be moving on to NBC's Universal streaming service, Peacock. Oh yeah, Harry Potter and the Peacock Stone.
It's I am man, oh man.
At least it's free.
It's
Harry Potter with some ads. It's free.
But this is why I buy physical media, bro. I've had these movies for ages, but it's just Batman Begins and The Dark Knight will soon be removed as well. It's like, but they were just on there. So it's like, do we have to own all of these streaming services? Just like, oh, well, Batman Begins and Dark Knight was on HBO Max, then it got moved over to Peacock. So now you got to watch it over there for X amount of years or X amount of time. And then, it got moved back to HBO Max. But now, Netflix bought the rights to it. So now you can watch. It's too much. There is a lot of criticism towards HBO Max. The main reason being, no support for Android devices when it comes to Roku's and Amazon Fire TVs. But I still watch. There's a lot of shows on there I've been meaning to watch. Excuse me. And I'd say next to Netflix is probably my second most used streaming service. I'll go on Disney Plus from time to time, but it's mainly I swap back between Netflix and HBO Max and Hulu sometimes, but it's mainly just HBO and Netflix for me. But
I've been getting into Prime Video recently, just a few
really?
one-off, kind of smaller movies, just looking around there.
You get your 6 hours in for that?
I haven't gotten any emails yet, but
I haven't gotten any emails yet either. I'm going to play.
I definitely had 4 movies playing.
Right now.
Maybe I should.
I think I'm going to stream at least one more to get that $5.
I watched Top Gun. I mean...
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I don't... it was interesting. Not a fan.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Cheez-It is doing this small little partnership with Amazon Prime Video. There's specific movies that you can watch. You have to stream at least 6 hours of content on HBO. I mean, not HBO, sorry. Amazon Prime. And you'll get, I believe it's a $5 gift card to Amazon, and then another $5 gift card for Amazon Prime.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's very weird. We found it about a week ago. So, yeah, I think I'm going to play one more movie just to be safe because I had to go through a little bit. I had to fight through the reins to get that last deal that we did. But I know how much you like The Rock.
Oh, man,
so I'm going to
Sweetheart. How could you
I'm going
him?
to let you take this one.
America's Sweetheart, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That's what the title says here. It's right there in the headline. He is part of a team that has bought the XFL for $15 million.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty cheap.
Man,
That's the price of one NFL player for the entire league.
But which NFL player?
Any of the good ones?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would say Tom Brady, but he's on his way to Tampa, so that's a lot of fun. But
yeah, I had high hopes for the XFL, and then it failed partly because of COVID. So hopefully Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can work his magic like he always seems to do.
We should have seen this coming a while ago. I mean, he was in that show Ballers with NFL players.
Yeah, that's basically a storyline for that show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hey, so you want to see how this came to be? Go watch Ballers. But we have our last bit of the new normal news here. It looks like Naomi Scott is going to be starring in a sci-fi movie called Distant. So she'll be hanging up the magic carpet from Aladdin. Hopefully they don't make
forgetting
Aladdin
about Charlie's Angels like the rest of us want to.
Yes. Movie was so atrocious. Wow. It just, man. It's one thing that the movie was bad, but then Elizabeth Banks had to go on and blame her audience for not watching a movie that wasn't marketed well and just didn't really fill the seats. But it looks like Naomi Scott is to star in a blind sci-fi movie called Distance, as I said before. She will be the Aladdin star, joins Anthony Ramos in the project about an asteroid miner who crash lands on an alien planet. Ooh. So,
Anthony Ramos, big
yeah, Blaze of Glory filmmakers as well.
Wait, are there two Anthony Ramoses?
Is there? Well, it says a project from Blaze of Glory filmmakers, Will Speck and Josh Gordon. Oh, also star in Anthony Ramos Okay. I thought they were writers for some reason. But we also got Spencer Cohen, who wrote as well, and the marvelous Mrs. Maisel's Rachel Brosnahan. So apparently she previously had the role but dropped due to COVID scheduling conflicts. So, yeah.
Yeah, give me more Naomi Scott. She won me over in Aladdin, and she needs more roles.
Yeah, she did win me over in Aladdin as well. I thought she did. I thought she was actually probably the best part of the movie. Aside from Will Smith, I thought he did a great job as well. So, cool. Man, actually, we're not done
here.
Wait. Well, hold on. We're not done yet. We're going to play a little game here.
Yeah.
A little game. Oh, let me, So, Devin, you have $1,000. You got to spend it wisely on these tiers.
Is it the entire Infinity Saga or just the Avengers movies?
You know what? Let me blow that up. It just says Infinity. I think is that Infinity Saga?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense if it's an Infinity Saga because a lot of these are. Yeah, let's just go with Infinity Saga.
You get every MCU movie, every Star Wars movie, every Harry Potter movie, or every Lord of the Rings / Hobbit movie in the top tier.
For $400.
And then the $300 tier, you get Pulp Fiction, Parasite, Dark Knight, or Indiana Jones. $200 tier, you get Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Get Out, Halloween, or Back to the Future. And the $100 tier, you get Spider-Man 2, Inception, John Wick 3, or Logan.
Ooh. I feel like it's evenly balanced out.
I think I've made my choice.
All right. Well, you go ahead, and then I'll go.
my top tier choice is pretty easy for me. I'm going the Infinity Saga. It's just the most enjoyable one out of these for me by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah.
And then I'll take one from 300. I'll go with... Oh, God, wait. My math.
That's tough.
Let's see.
I feel like Dark Knight Rises the Dark Knight's calling your name. It's been a minute since I've seen Indiana Jones.
You know what?
What?
All right, I'll go Parasite. Then I'll scoop up Get Out. And then I have 100 left.
That's
go
tough.
With, I need some Christopher Nolan to give me Inception.
Hey, there you go.
Almost went right down the line.
Right down the line. All right, so for me, this is actually going to be tough. So I'm going to start from the bottom and go up because I need time to think for the $400 rack there. So I'm actually Logan is so good. I'm going to go with Inception though for $100. I'm going to go with Inception the same way. For $200, I'm going to do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then I'm going to go Parasite. I have to. It was. I love The Dark Knight. Pulp Fiction was probably my number 2. Dark Knight would probably be my number 3. But
you could choose just the entire first or second row.
Yeah, I could, but
if you can get all 4 of the $100 ones, and then still get a top tier one, and then still get a $200 one.
That is true.
That's a lot of bang for your buck there.
That is a lot of things. Ooh, you know what? Oh man, dang, that's tough. Okay, so we'll definitely go Inception. Let's do Inception and Logan. That's 200. Spider-Man, so that's 400. For the top tier, man, just to diversify, I'm going to go with Harry Potter. Because I love Lord of the Rings, but I wasn't crazy about The Hobbit. I love Star Wars, but Star Wars is like hella inconsistent. Not saying the other ones aren't, but I feel like Star Wars is the most inconsistent. So we got Harry Potter 400, we got Spider-Man 600, we got Logan and Inception 600. And then I'm going to go Parasite. And then I think I get another $100, right?
Maybe.
I think so. So Harry Potter was 400, Spider-Man was 200, so 600. Inception and Logan. Oh, that's 800.
Oh, you went over with Parasite.
I did. Crap. All right, I'm just going to choose one from each row then. Harry Potter, Parasite, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, and Inception.
Interesting.
And that should even everything up. Cool. Yeah, thanks for playing, everyone. Sorry about that. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, my math was way off. But let's get into the gaming news here, man. We have a lot to talk about. Well, let's get into some Xbox news first. You want to take this first one?
I feel like the first one we should mention is the xCloud was announced.
Oh, yeah, they did. Samsung and Microsoft had a little tidbit about that. Did I put that in here? No, I don't think I did.
I think it's coming out September 15th. And as far... It sounds awful to begin with because it is currently Android only because Microsoft and Apple don't like to play nice with each other.
Nope.
So if you want to use xCloud, you have to use it on a PC or Android device. Why would you do it on PC? But I don't think I have any Android devices. I might have an old Amazon tablet I could try to use, but it doesn't really
that's gonna
seem
be
worth
rough.
it. But yeah, I mean, xCloud sounds really cool, but it's only Android. That kind of cuts out a lot of potential for customers.
Yeah.
And it's included in Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, everything's included in Game Pass. That's all you need. That's literally all you need. But we have a little bit of the other Xbox news here. The new Battletoads game is now available for preloading. So that's pretty cool, I'd say. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
We should definitely stream that for sure on Twitch. So I'm actually just going to come out and say it because I was like, I wasn't sure, if we should say anything about it or when to drop it. But I am working on a Twitch channel. I mean, it's up. I just haven't announced it, but I guess, cat's out of the bag now. I mean, it's not that big of an announcement, but I feel like when it comes to streaming for us, it's easier to do everything on Twitch. And then you can watch the VOD version on YouTube. Boom. There you go. Because it's super easy to stream on Twitch. You don't have to worry about building up a thumbnail or anything right off the bat. So we should definitely stream some Battletoads when it comes out on August 20th, I believe it is.
Today I picked up Fall Guys.
Oh, I was going to actually ask you, okay, how much does that game cost? And
$20. It's not too
through
bad.
Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I actually think I'm going to buy
a few
that.
rounds today, and it's really fun.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
basically Mario Party, but online and with 60 people.
That sounds
so it's just
fantastic.
insanity.
Yeah, because I was watching Kind of Funny, one of their live streams, and they were talking about it. I was like, and I meant to ask you earlier, and it completely slipped my mind.
Yeah,
but,
I picked it up today, and
okay,
it's a good time.
I'm definitely going to give it a buy, and we'll maybe that could be the first game we can stream. That'll be our little intro before Battletoads comes out, because that doesn't come out for 2 weeks. Battletoads, I mean. But so it looks like Microsoft has kind of smashed the rumor of Xbox Live becoming free. Microsoft says there's no changes being made to Xbox Live Gold amid the free multiplayer claims that have been happening. about a week ago, we did get word. Well, there was 2 rumors rolling about. One of them was that Halo Infinite's multiplayer was going to be free, and I feel like that kind of snowballed into, oh my gosh, here's another rumor saying that Xbox Live Gold was going away and everyone can just play it online together. First of all, I didn't really believe it. I wanted to for like a half a second, but I'm like, Microsoft has like, when it comes to paying to play online, they are the bread and butter. They are the original console company to start this whole spiel. PlayStation followed soon after, and Nintendo Switch is now doing the same thing. So they see the money in it. So, and it's like, yeah, I don't really see the reason why they would give it away. But what are your thoughts about this?
I think it's something they should definitely consider if they aren't already. Because when that news came out, I think a lot of people got a little excited because...
Oh, I was excited too.
Just a trend of Xbox and Microsoft making consumer-friendly announcements. And making Xbox Live Gold free would definitely be a big win for consumers. So I don't know. I think it should definitely be free for free-to-play online games.
Right, because
like
that's
Halo
what's...
Infinite.
Mm-hmm. That's what Sony and the Nintendo Switch does when it comes to free-to-play games such as Fortnite or Apex Legends, things of that nature. They are free-to-play completely. Like, even with my PlayStation, some of my buddies who have PlayStation, they like to play Fortnite a lot. And I don't have a PlayStation Plus subscription because to me, it's not worth it. I've said this before, owning a PlayStation, it's a great experience for a single player game lover such as myself, but there really isn't anything else other than their exclusives that's really worth buying on PlayStation, in my opinion, because I don't like paying to play online anyway. One of the reasons why we both built PCs a while back, and we haven't really looked back because it's pretty nice not having to shell out $60 and still we get game deals without even having to subscribe to a service like that. Huh?
Thank you, Epic, for the free games.
Yeah, seriously, we have both built an entire games library through the Epic Games storefront.
And places like Humble Bundle and
Green Man Gaming.
And Fanatic. There's just so many places you can get bundles and deals.
Yeah, we've actually got some of the free games are a bit random, but we've got some pretty good games. We got the entire Batman Arkham collection and the Lego Batmans, Alan Wake,
and GTA 5.
GTA 5, yeah. Enter the Gungeon, Darksiders 1 and 2, Dauntless, the list goes on. I have at least 50 to 60 games in my games library. Watch Dogs, the first one. And we haven't even paid a dime. I think the only game we both paid for thus far was Control and Borderlands 3. And we got Borderlands
both discounted.
Yeah, which is discounted by $10 for that refund thing that they did for us. But yeah, I digress. So yeah, Xbox Live's still on. They're not making any changes there. But Devin. Devin.
No.
Devin.
I'll give you the floor. Here
Devin.
you go.
Devin.
Take a deep breath.
I don't know why that's going off. All right. So we got a little bit of news this week. Marvel's Avengers is coming out. I was excited. Everyone was excited for this game. It's like a new age Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. And I had something. It was making me feel some type of way. I've actually wrote an entire article on the subject of the whole PlayStation Spider-Man exclusive debacle of 2020. You can find it on the Music City Drive-In website. I'll have a link to the podcast, or not to the podcast file, to the article below. So on Monday, we have received a little notification just, a month before the game comes out. They decide to drop this news that Spider-Man will be a playable character in Marvel's Avengers, but exclusively for PlayStation 4. And, of course, it's going to be a cross-buy, or not cross, I guess you could say cross-buy, because I think you do get the PS5 or Xbox Series X version for free. So next-gen version for free. And I was like, okay, I was looking forward to this for a while, and it really just put a damper on my whole, my not my experience with it, because I haven't played it yet, but it put a damper on me wanting to buy the game. And, I've talked to a few friends about this online, and like I said, I wrote an entire article about this. It's titled "Spider-Man Should Be a Hero." Should be a hero for all, not just PlayStation gamers. And I'm not really feeling this all too much, because I understand that, there's the Spider-Man PS4 version of the game. The Insomniac, Marvel, and Sony all had a deal created a deal together. It was very, it was understood on all sides, but I'm not a fan of third-party exclusive content for games like this, or just any game, because Microsoft has done this in the past. Obviously, Sony has done this in the past with Destiny as well. When it comes to third-party games, I feel like everyone should receive the same amount of content, especially if everyone's paying the same price. It's also been brought to our attention that Spider-Man will be the only exclusive character coming to the Marvel Avengers roster. But the kicker is, it's not even going to be the Insomniac version of Spider-Man that people know from the PlayStation 4. Instead, it's going to be a Crystal Dynamics own take, which is the developer of the Marvel's Avengers game. And it just seems to be a lot of confusion, because I feel like Sony is indirectly spreading false information when it comes to who ultimately owns the character. And Marvel owns the rights to make or endorse Spider-Man games. That decision does not lie with Sony. Sony only has the film rights to Spider-Man as we know of, and nothing else, because none of these companies have came out and, cleared the air. People are fighting online and whatnot. And it's just, if Spider-Man was a timed exclusive character, this would make more sense. Activision and Xbox did this way back in the day with Xbox 360. They're like, hey, Call of Duty maps come out a month first on Xbox, a month ahead of time, and then a month later, PlayStation gamers will come. And it's like, okay, that's fine, because ultimately everyone gets the same content at the end of the day within at least like a year of the game being out. But to me, if you're like, obviously we all know how popular Spider-Man is, but I'm not crazy about having people, I've had conversations with people online. They're like, well, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. It's like, no, they don't. But making moves like this and essentially trying to make Spider-Man a PlayStation exclusive character does not sit well with me, especially since Spider-Man was in Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 this past year on Nintendo Switch. And, there's a small little video online about how Insomniac Games came to work on Spider-Man. Insomniac was allowed to pick any Marvel superhero they wanted to. They're talking back and forth between Marvel and Sony, and they chose to work on Spider-Man. Sony was never given exclusive rights to produce a Spider-Man game. They were given the ability to make an exclusive title for the PlayStation 4. And it just so happens that Insomniac chose Spider-Man, because I feel like, I played the game. I love the game. That is definitely up Insomniac's their lane, with everything they've done with Ratchet and Clank and Spyro. just makes sense, especially Sunset Overdrive, which they made for the Xbox. So at that time, we don't know what else went behind closed doors. There's a lot of rumors suggesting that there's more Spider-Man deals in play, which ultimately launched with, the Spider-Man exclusive video game. But we don't know anything about it because no one's come out and cleared the air. None of these companies have been transparent about it. So, I mean, does it suck? Absolutely. I feel like it's for the players. It's pro PlayStation players because obviously if your main console or your main gaming device or platform is PlayStation, you're not going to care. You're going to be able to play Spider-Man, and that's pro-consumer for PlayStation players. But it is anti-consumer for PC and Xbox players because Spider-Man is arguably he's arguably the world's most popular superhero. He's up there with Batman. He's up there with Superman, and it just feels like a blow. And the fact that Sony is trying to retain rights or whatever to this character when it comes to spreading this information, I feel like they're indirectly spreading that information. I really don't want to get too much into it because I know I already have, but that's just my little 2 cents on the matter. That was
a whole $1.
It was a whole $1. I mean, like he's my favorite superhero. I'm not gonna boycott PlayStation or anything like that. I'm just simply not gonna buy the game. Like, I mean, that's just me voting for my wallet. Like, obviously, is that deal going to change? Probably not. But that doesn't mean that I like it. But I mean, it is what it is, obviously. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just, I'm just voicing my opinion like everybody else. So
this game is just a roller coaster.
This is like Spider-Man when Spider-Man was out of the MCU all over again. Because we're arguing about this, I guess you could say arguing or having the same conversation about the same thing. Who owns what rights to Spider-Man? And there's multiple articles out there. It's amazing what a Google search can do, people. Look it up. IGN has an article about it. Screen Rant has an article about it. And there's another article I found. They're not a big web news website, but basically spouting the same thing. I'll put the link to the article in the description if I can find it, especially for the YouTube version. But we're arguing about the same thing. Everyone's like, oh, well, who owns what's a Spider-Man? And it's great that, he's generating so much care and compassion. But like Crystal Dynamics pretty much said that, if you want to buy Marvel's Avengers and play as Spider-Man, you have that option to play him on PlayStation 4, even though I don't think people are just going to go out and buy PlayStation for a single character. Like if it was a timed exclusivity thing, I understand. If it was, getting special skins for Spider-Man for the PlayStation version, cool, that makes sense. Hey, let's give PlayStation players a little bit extra, but not, an entire super popular character. It's like they're treating him like he's a D-list character. Like Crystal Dynamics is just like, oh well, like if you don't have a PlayStation, I mean you have that option, but let me just go buy a $300 to $400 console towards the end of its life cycle to play Spider-Man. It's just asinine to me. But I think that's about does it. Unless you had anything else to say. I'm sorry. I'm just like really, it bugs me so much that people are just misinformed about who owns what. Now, if that information changes, feel free, hey, this came out, this article came out, okay. If Sony owns those rights, Sony owns those rights. But until they are transparent about this whole situation, that's all we know. But I think that's going to do it. I was going to cover the PlayStation event that happened today. A bunch of third-party games, got some Crash Bandicoot gameplay in there. It looks a lot of fun, actually. That's coming out on both Xbox and PlayStation the same day. But, no exclusive rights or contents there from what I No. But I believe that's going to do it for today. Thank you, Devin, for letting me vent my feelings.
I actually went to the bathroom and came back.
Did you really?
And I checked my work computer.
It's all right.
Emails.
Check some emails. I made some dinner. It's all good. But let's, we are coming up on time here. So thank you for letting me, because I've been meaning to talk about this all week. And I feel like even the article that I pushed out there isn't enough. But again, go ahead and read it. It's on musiccitydriving.com. I'll have a link to it in the description below within the podcast information and on YouTube. And I believe this week we will be joined again by James from the Cinema District podcast. Follow them on Instagram as well. They make some amazing, nice little pictures there for you guys to, and tidbits of information as well. He'll be joining us when we review An American Pickle. We're going to be reviewing that on Sunday, so our release schedule has changed a bit. We're going to our reviews for whatever it may be, gaming, TV shows, or movies, that's going to be released on Mondays now. So we'll just record those on Sundays, release them on Mondays, because I feel like we normally end up, recording later on in the day anyway, and it's just easier to pump it out on Monday. Boom, Monday you got a new podcast to listen to. So how about that? But was there anything else you wanted to say, Devin? Or are you still with me?
I'm here.
All right, so I believe that does it for our episode of this new show, Headline Hot Takes on the Film Optix Podcast. Exclusive episode, only on Apple Podcasts, nothing else. We're doing the opposite of what Spotify's doing. If you want to listen to a Bumper podcast, go somewhere else, because we're here to stay. We're getting paid by Apple. Well, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.